Will and Jada Smith have a relationship that just can't seem to stay out of the headlines. But could it be more of an issue with Jada than Will? Hey guys, I'm your host Lauren.
And I'm Stacy. And today we're counting down the top 10 Jada red flags we shouldn't have ignored. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you for having me as a guest on your channel today. And I just want to shout out our other page, Beyond the Screen. So make sure you go check us out on YouTube and Facebook so you can stay up to date on all your favorite celebrity gossips and scandals. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have racial bias. So back in 2018, Jada would open up during an episode of her Red Table talk show, and in it, she would reveal what really triggers her when it comes to white women. During the episode, the actor then sit down with her mom and her daughter Willow, and she would speak about her relationship with white women and women of color. She would then reveal her surprising revelation of how she views the former. When she went on to say, "I think what crushes me specifically in my relationship with white women, the thing that really breaks my heart is that white women understand what it feels like to be oppressed." Later in the episode, Jada would then admit that she has a racial bias when it comes to white women with blonde hair, when she said, "I have to admit I'm guilty to a certain degree because I do have my own biases, specifically to blonde women. Blonde hair on white women just triggers me. I've had to catch myself." Jada would then try to explain that she only has these feelings towards blonde women because she was bullied by them in school, but I think as the interview went on, it all started to point out it was really just a sneak diss towards Margot Robbie because her husband Will over the years has become smitten with the actress, and it scares Jada to the core.
Number 9, the rushed marriage. Jada met Will during her audition for the role of his character's girlfriend on the show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Though she didn't end up getting the part, it's reported that she made quite the impression on the star, who was then married to another woman. Will revealed later that not long after meeting Jada, he went out for dinner with his wife and realized he had married the wrong woman. After 2 years of dating, Jada found out that she was pregnant with their first child, Jaden, and pretty quickly after, Will proposed, with a $250,000 engagement ring. But it appears that Jada wasn't initially super excited about her upcoming marriage. During an episode of Red Table Talk, Jada shared that she never really wanted to get married, but her mom was putting the pressure on since she was young and pregnant. Jada's mom, Adrienne, revealed her worry that since she was an only child, she may never get the opportunity to see her get married. In the end, of course, she did decide to go through with it, but made it clear to Will that she did not want a typical ceremony. Will later admitted in his memoir that regardless of this, he did pressure her into having a very traditional wedding. When recalling her wedding day, Jada shares, "I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I cried the whole way down the aisle. Though getting cold feet is pretty typical when making such a big commitment, a wedding therapist believes there could be a little bit more to it." The therapist, Landis, told Insider that bad nerves can indicate the person just isn't ready for marriage, or that they could even be marrying the wrong person. Will explain further in his memoir what it's like to marry someone who wasn't ready, saying this would be the first of many compromises Jada would have to make over the years that painfully negated her own values. Definitely a worrying thing to say, as in most cases, overlooking your own values can sometimes lead to a bit of resentment as time goes on. Are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
Number 8, Scientology. Although Jada has tried to claim for years that she isn't a Scientologist, she has been connected to the church in the public eye for years. Even Lee Remini once told the Daily Beast in 2017, "I know Jada's in. She's been in Scientology for a long time," before noting that she even saw Jada at the Celebrity Center from time to time. She also revealed that Jada once even founded a school based on Scientology with her husband Will, and they even opened up the institution in one of their homes. With the school only lasting for 5 years before it closed, Jada faced much scrutiny over the school as teaching staff confirmed that they incorporated Scientology-affiliated study technology into their curriculum. Later, Jada would bring Lee on her Red Table talk show so they could clear the air. Back in 2018, and during the show, the pair would go on to settle their dispute when Jada said, "My grandmother was like, you're gonna learn all the religions, and then you have to decide which one you want to practice." Jada then went on to explain that she only studied different religions as a curiosity by saying, "I always took the position that I'm here at the Scientology Center to learn what I want to learn, and I have no interest in being a Scientologist." But if that was true, then why is she still being caught hanging out with the head person at the church?
Number 7, the affair. During her decades-long relationship with Will, it seems that someone else caught her eye as well. The singer, August Alsina. During a 2020 interview, August claimed that he and Jada have been romantically involved in the past, even going on to say that Will gave them his blessing. He said during the interview, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really deeply love and have a ton of love for her, and I gave my full self to it." He revealed that before her, he had never truly been in love before. When this hit the news, Jada initially denied it, but then later admitted that yes, it did happen, but only during a separation from Will, saying on Red Table Talk, "We were over. From there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. Though many times things like this would completely break a marriage, Will and Jada have said that it only strengthened it." An insider told the press, "Will and Jada at the end of the day are like a normal couple who just happen to be glorified because they're famous. They have fought, but in the end of the day, they do love each other." It looks like this fling with August could have been the initial beginning of their open marriage. During an interview with GQ magazine, Will confirmed the non-monogamous relationship, saying, "We were both miserable and clearly something had to change." When asked why they decided against monogamy, he admitted, "Jada never believes in a conventional marriage. She grew up in a way that was very different from how I grew up." It looks like regardless if Will was on board or not, Jada put her foot down on this one.
Number 6. Bad parenting. With being an A-list celebrity, it means that majority of your life is in the public, and for Jada, that means her parenting skills have led her to be scrutinized by the public for how she chooses to handle certain situations with her kids, especially back in 2014 when online critics were quick to weigh in on pictures of Willow Smith and outraged Jada would then tell TMZ that there was nothing wrong about the picture or the situation and that the media was just putting their own biased opinions onto the situation. With being the more relaxed parent, it has caused her to even scrutinize Will's approach in an attempt to embarrass him, as she has even argued with her husband over certain parenting subjects, like when their son Jaden, who provoked a lot of backlash after he was pictured wearing a skirt. Jada would then take to her Red Table Talk show to call out Will by saying, "I remember Will calling me and being like, 'Have you talked about this with Jaden, him wearing a skirt?' And I said, yeah, I have. He's pretty happy about it. But for their kids' sake, she probably shouldn't be saying such hateful things about Will to change their view of him, especially when he's been a great father so far."
Number 5. Manipulation. In 2022, Jada was trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. After sharing her feelings on the infamous time at the Oscars when Will slapped Chris Rock, looks like she wasn't going to stand by her husband on this one. Despite saying she wasn't angry with her husband, she did admit that she wished he didn't do it. Though most of us wish he didn't do it as well, many fans believe that she was saying this as a gaslighting tactic. After sharing her feelings, one Twitter user wrote, "Jada is an abuser. She abuses Will Smith. She emasculates him so much that he ends up behaving like a child, slapping people and tarnishing his reputation to impress her." Going on to say, "Will is a victim of abuse by a bully who bullies others." And others shared their worry for Will, saying, "She's very much a manipulator and a gaslighter. The way he breaks down saying love makes you do crazy things is a message of his needed escape." And other social media users claim to agree that as more and more news emerges of the star, it's clear who is in control of this relationship.
Number 4. Horrible acting. While Will Smith has gone on to become one of the world's best actors, Jada on the other hand doesn't really have anything special. And it makes you wonder why she's even booking gigs when she's not even talented. With Gotham turning out to be an amazing series, it's clear that the producers ended up picking the wrong character when it came to Fish Mooney, as Jada didn't bring her A game to the show. The way she just kept slipping between a Fox, posh British accent and a bad guy just came off a little too cheesy and unbearable to listen to. And just her overall portrayal of the character was so over the top and campy. The only good thing we saw come from her acting was when she didn't have to say a word in a scene and just sat there quietly. In the end, the show could have cut Mooney's character from all the scenes altogether, and it still would have made sense, and that's just really sad when it comes to someone's acting career.
Number 3. The narcotics. Many fans were surprised to learn about Jada's struggle with narcotics and sobriety that could possibly have ended her career back in the 90s. She admitted on an episode of Red Table Talk that at one point in her life she was drinking like it was Kool-Aid, saying, "I could drink almost anybody under the table." She went on to discuss how her heavy drinking really began as a teen. She explained how it only got worse when she moved to Hollywood. She told her audience how she was doing a cocktail of illegal narcotics, saying, "I wasn't doing things that I thought were addictive." Considering herself as a big weekend party girl, she has since admitted that her substance use was most likely a result of her mental health issues. She recalls this time in her life by saying, "In my depression, using narcotics, drinking a whole lot, and smoking a bunch, just trying to find some peace of mind." But it wasn't until an incident on the set of The Nutty Professor that she realized she had to turn it all around. She explained, "I went to work on narcotics and it was a bad bunch. I passed out and I told everyone I must have had old medications. And that was the last time." Luckily, it has been reported she is fully recovered, but fans still worry for future relapses.
Number 2. Red Table Talk. So we all know Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk show tends to get a little controversial from time to time, especially when she brings on other celebrities to get into their business and call their actions out. And that's exactly what she did in 2020 to Snoop Dogg. So in the wake of Kobe's passing, Jada wasn't afraid to call out Snoop Dogg over his comments toward Gayle King and start a difficult conversation about misogyny. A conversation, I may add, could have simply just been done in person without it all being on camera. The whole mess started after Gayle mentioned a woman had accused Kobe of making unwanted advancements in the past. Snoop then posted a video on his Instagram page where he insulted King's appearance by telling her, "Back off B before we come get you." Jada then brought the rapper on her Red Table Talk show to clear the air when she tried to explain to him in a very manipulating way that when she heard the things he said about Gayle, she felt hurt on behalf of all women. Snoop Dogg then felt so embarrassed that he headed back to his Instagram and later apologized to King, and he even made an attempt to resolve their feud by telling Gayle, "I was raised better than that, so I would like to apologize to you publicly for the language that I used in calling you out of your name and just being disrespectful."
And finally, at number 1, we have the embarrassment. Regardless if she means it or not, it is speculated that Jada has embarrassed Will more times than not. One time in particular is when she shared some pretty intimate details on her romantic life with Will on her talk show. With guest star Gwyneth Paltrow, they discussed the importance of communication when it comes to sex. After Gwyneth revealed her intimate life is the best she's ever had, Jada quickly made a comparison to her long relationship with Will. Jada shared, "I think you expect your partner to know what you need, especially when it comes to the bedroom. It's like, if you love me, you know. You should read my mind, and that's a huge pitfall." This sparked a conversation on Twitter with many fans describing their relationship as messy, as well as dragging the star for revealing way too much about her marriage struggles with Will without Will being present. Others speculated that this could be Jada alluding to the fact that a healthy, intimate life in a long relationship is difficult to maintain. While all the speculation began circulating, Jada did defend herself by saying the two had never had an issue. She said on Twitter, "Only because I have time today, stop making up headlines. Watch for yourself. Will and I have never had an issue in the bedroom." Despite what she meant during the episode, many aren't convinced that she didn't try to embarrass her husband.
Well, that's it for this video. It's definitely been a blast. Until the next video, don't forget to head over to our BTS page so you never have to miss what we might just cover next.